And welcome to another episode of JP and the Beans Talk.
Oh,
I'm Beans.
hey, JP, right here with my boy Beans and with you all. Delighted to be here.
Absolutely.
Delighted to be
It's
here.
great to have you.
It's great to be had. That sounded terrible. It's great to it just sounded awful. It's great to be among bearded brethren
Yes.
talking about all things good, all things worthwhile. Love it. Love it.
I love it too. I'm glad to be a part of that
Oh,
bearded brother band.
dude, you're in it and you never need leave.
I'm not going to.
No.
No, I legit, so I was looking at pictures of myself naked.
Yes.
Like naked beard.
Right.
Not like full
Right.
naked because that'd just be weird to stare at all day. But
There's a time for it. There's a time for it.
But naked face.
Yep.
And I look weird.
It's
Like this feels
beards just make almost every face better.
well, it's
Like
just
it can get out of hand, right? It can get to the point where it's just excessive and ratty and nasty, but when it's well corralled, it's like the wild stallion that has been broken. It's both beautiful and terrible to behold all at once. It's great.
oh my god, that's so majestic. But like
Yeah. So that's where you're at. You're in the wild stallion phase. It's great.
I know.
That's great.
I've always
Welcome.
I've always compared myself to a stallion that
Sure.
can't be tamed.
Sure. See, here you are. Now
yeah.
it's just manifesting right on your face. Oh, wild
I'm
stallion.
super excited. But yeah, I was looking at my face for that one, and I'm like, I've only had this for like a month.
You'll never go back.
I can't.
You'll never go
I
back.
can't now.
No.
Like I physically can't
No.
because I look weird, clean
No.
shaven,
No. Yeah. Yeah. It's just
like a baby's bum. I don't.
you can't have it.
I can't look like a
No.
baby's butt.
No.
No.
No. You got to look like the grown man wild stallion that you are.
I love it.
Just stay in that pocket. It's great.
Yes,
It's great.
thank
Just
you.
happy for you.
I'm happy for me too.
That's great. That's great. Well, hey, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about just a whole slew of topics. You know, it's been a fun run. I think we've had some really honed in focus on just a piece here, a piece there. We've got a whole smorgasbord of topics to cover today.
Yeah, well, and
Love it.
If you think about it, that whole span of like 8 episodes, it was movie, show,
Yes.
movie, show,
Yes.
show, movie. We didn't really ever get a break.
No.
And now we get to sit back and be like, let's take a breather.
That's right.
Morbius got delayed. We don't have to worry about that movie till April.
Strangely okay with that. Strangely at peace with
But-
that.
Like we don't have a movie till March.
Right.
We have a show we could maybe talk about.
Right.
But I feel like at this point we might as well wait till it's over.
There you go.
And then,
There you
yeah, it's just, we get a nice break. We get to breathe.
Yeah. Can get back to the roots, right?
Yeah, we get back
You
to
bet.
talking about comic books. We get back to DC. We haven't talked about DC since.
You bet. It's been a while. It's been a piece. Marvel's been pumping out some quality content for us to digest. It's been enjoyable. So it's going to be good to get back into the DC realm and start talking about the comics with DC, the upcoming DC slate, all that good
And
stuff.
I'm honestly super excited to talk about the upcoming stuff.
Yes.
All the 2022 stuff.
Yes.
Both DC and Marvel.
Yep.
So that'll be really fun to dive into
You bet.
too.
You
And we
bet.
actually have dates for all the movies.
Thank goodness.
We have decent plans.
We have tangible, real things.
I know, it's great. Like, we have 3 DC movies this year. That's insanity.
That is wild.
'Cause I
That
don't
that
think-
is legitimately wild.
Well, actually, maybe 4.
At least 3.
I think it's 4.
4th might sneak in there.
I think it's 4.
Okay. Okay.
Which either way,
Yeah,
we had
It's just
we had
absolutely
one
wild.
last year.
Let's see.
Well, we
Wonder
didn't watch
Woman-
Wonder Woman.
No,
We
Wonder
didn't
Woman
cover that.
1984.
So 2, and Suicide Squad, right?
That was a 2020 though. Wonder Woman
Wonder Woman?
1984.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would be why we didn't talk about it then.
Yep. That was
So-
pre JP and Beans podcasting. So yeah,
So just Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad was the solo DC output. So it's a welcome change. We'll get into that, but a lot of good topics for today. A lot of good topics. So what do you say we just start out right with the basics?
Dive in,
the
bud.
comics. Okay.
Dive in.
So this has been a long time coming because, as Beans just stated, we have spent a lot of time, a lot of good time on some fantastic Marvel Marvel movie and show content. What we got away from, and this is all on me, is talking about the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run. Now, this beauty, all right, Sinestro Corps War. Feel free to page through.
I was hoping you'd tell me that.
Some time ago, like sometime, I'm going to say about...
I'm so turned on right now.
Oh, you won't not be just paging through that. You're going to stay strangely aroused for a good period here. About 8 years ago, I can't remember what it was that prompted this, but I was looking just on Amazon, like just searching for, hey, what's a good comic? And the Sinestro Corps War had come out relatively recently and was getting very high praise. Not having read Green Lantern comics before, I pulled the trigger. I'm like, okay, this looks good. It looks legit. Let's see what this is about. And I tell you what, this comic, this story branched so many different directions for me from a comic perspective. One of the best things that I can say about it is that self-contained, it's just a phenomenal freaking story. So again, I read this not having a whole lot of context for what had come before or even what it was setting up to come after, and I enjoyed the bejesus out of this story. So for our purposes, I will give a little bit of context, a little bit of a refresher. Leading into the Sinestro Corps War, for those of you diehards that remember where we left off episodes ago, old Hal Jordan, brought back from the dead, working his way back into the good graces of the Guardians and his fellow Green Lanterns as the Corps begins to get rebuilt. But along with Hal Jordan coming back comes Sinestro. So the yin, the yang, the good, the bad. And Sinestro, upon his reemergence, decides, you know what? I'm going to make my own Corps. Now, this is a brand new idea because for decades with the Green Lantern Corps, all we've had is the color green. Right? There hasn't been a color spectrum. This is a brand new idea.
Oh, so that comes in here. This is the first
this
time
is the
they
first
get into
time.
the... Wow.
First time that we get more than just the Green Lanterns. We have Sinestro Corps of the Yellow Lanterns. So we see this teased a little bit in the previous comics where a couple characters that we really don't know about a lot about yet, Arkillo being one of them. Think of him as the evil Kilowog. He's getting recruited. So we see Yellow Lantern rings going around the galaxy, and there's a really cool moment where one of the Yellow Lantern rings tries to recruit Batman because the yellow rings are searching for creatures and individuals that have the ability to instill great fear. That sounds like Batman, something he's good at, instilling fear. Batman, of course, rejects the ring, but this leads to questions from the Green Lantern Corps. Wait a minute, where are all these yellow rings coming from? This is new. Well, as we find out very early in this story, Sinestro has really been putting in the work. He has recruited Arkillo. He's recruited Cyborg Superman, who, as we may recall from previous comics leading into this story, was building and manufacturing these rings for Sinestro, as well as rebuilding the androids known as the Manhunters, a classic Green Lantern nemesis. Sinestro has also employed Parallax, the living embodiment of fear. And this story, I tell you what, it kicks off right from the get-go with wall-to-wall action. Sinestro launches an attack on Oa, captures Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner, by the way, has powered up and been given the power of Ion. Ion being the living embodiment of will. So Parallax, right? Living embodiment of fear. Terribly evil and powerful entity. Well, Ion is the living embodiment of will. And just like Parallax can possess and control in a really evil, nasty way, Ion can be gifted, if you will, or go into, what do I want to say, partner up with another sentient being to bestow extraordinary willpower within them. And so think of just a Green Lantern that's just gone on roids, right? Like that's hulked out. That is what happens when you have the power of Ion. So that's what Kyle Rayner is wielding, kind of as the Guardian's way of thanking him for being the torchbearer when the whole Corps was crumbling or just decimated due to Hal Jordan's heel turn, shall we say. But Sinestro successfully captures Kyle Rayner, literally rips Ion out of him, and shoves Parallax in instead. So Kyle Rayner gets possessed by Parallax. Sinestro also busts... oh my gosh, hang on. I'm drawing a huge blank here all of a sudden. Oh, this is so frustrating. Superboy Prime. There we go. Gosh, it was right on the tip of my brain. Superboy Prime. Who the flip is Superboy Prime, you may ask? All right.
Oh, look at you.
Here we go. We're double dipping. Sinestro Corps War, Infinite Crisis. All right. Jeff Johns, again, he's the author of this phenomenal Green Lantern run. Jeff Johns, when he was first coming into DC prominence, his first big swing was to write a new crisis for DC. So prior to this particular work by Jeff Johns, all that DC had from a crisis or big crossover event perspective was the very famous Crisis on Infinite Earths from late 70s, early 80s. This work, Infinite Crisis, brings one of the characters from Crisis on Infinite Earths, Superboy Prime, back into the fold. So real quick, Crisis on Infinite Earths, you have the DC multiverse trying to bang around, figure out which Earth is going to, out of all these multiple Earths, which Earth is going to be the Earth. And you have a Superman and a Superboy from an alternate Earth making, at the time, a really heroic sacrifice to allow our Earth to survive, and they allow themselves and their Earth to be put kind of in this purgatory. Well, in this story, Superboy Prime busts out of the purgatory to come to our Earth, originally for the intention of helping, save our Earth. But here's the problem. Superboy Prime, a little messed up in the head. He gets to our Earth, thinks it sucks, and in his own twisted form of justice, basically just starts killing people left and right. Mm-hmm. Executing his own form of justice. It's obviously not received well, and the Green Lantern Corps, after losing dozens of their own members to Superboy Prime, depowers him, locks him away near Oa, and is tasked with guarding his cell. Okay, so they've got Superboy Prime imprisoned. Here's one of the ways that you know that Superboy Prime is a messed up and also badass dude. While he is imprisoned, he carves out, in his own flesh, the Superman symbol. He just takes his own finger and just carves out the big S and the triangle, just as this, brand on his chest. Nasty stuff.
That's psychotic.
He is a psycho. Psychotic is exactly right for this guy. Now, some of you may be thinking, okay, come on, Superboy, couldn't Superman just take him down? Well, here's the problem with Superboy Prime. He went and got himself OP powered up during his rage and rampage in Infinite Crisis, killed the Superman that was from his world. So he's more powerful than Superman. This dude is legitimately a problem. So the Green Lantern Corps has him locked away. Sinestro goes, I'll take that action. Busts Superboy Prime out, gives him a yellow lantern ring, and says, YOLO, my guy, you're on the squad. And so Sinestro goes from being in the shadows to having this beefed up, extraordinarily powered Yellow Lantern Corps that is fit to just wreck the multiverse. And then to really cap things off, we find out how has Sinestro gained all this power? Who is helping him? The freaking Anti-Monitor is part of the Sinestro Corps as well. Again, another character way back from the Crisis on Infinite Earths. An outrageously overpowered super being also happens to be in the Sinestro Corps. So sets up this clash between the Green Lantern Corps, the Yellow Lantern Corps. Part of the problem right off the bat is the Yellow Lantern Corps, they got no problem with killing. They're going to off Green Lanterns left and right. And it's so bad at the beginning of this fight that the Yellow Lanterns are killing Green Lanterns and then following their rings as the Green Lantern rings go to seek out the replacement. And then as soon as the ring finds a replacement, boom, kill them as well.
Can you imagine how rough that is? You're just sitting at home drinking a drink.
Right. Enjoying your new beard.
And then this ring, yes, exactly. And then this magic ring, just falls on your finger, and you're like,
Right.
what the heck is going on? And then you look up, and there's a dude with a yellow ring that kind of looks like your green one.
Right.
And then a laser at your face, and then you're
That's the last thing you know.
and then you're with Jesus.
Right? It's got to be a real roller coaster. You got to be so excited, like, this is awesome. Oh, shit. And then that's it.
And then you're like,
That's done.
What? I don't even know what happened.
Oh, man.
Like, I didn't do anything.
It's great. So the conflict in this story is so outstanding because the Yellow Lantern Corps is taking the Green Lantern Corps to task. The torchbearer, Kyle Rayner, not only has he been beaten, he's just been turned into a minion of the Yellow Lantern Corps. He has taken on the parasite Parallax, and so now he's a problem. And so this is peak Hal Jordan having to battle against the greatest odds there could possibly be, trying to rescue Kyle Rayner from the parasite that haunted Hal Jordan way back in the day, that wrecked his life, trying to rally the Green Lantern Corps in a massive moment of need and defeat what seems to be an insurmountable foe. So there's so many outstanding scenes, so many outstanding conflicts from this book. There's a Green Lantern planet that's fighting against a Yellow Lantern planet at one point. Don't ask me how the planet wears the ring. They don't, so does it make sense? Not really, and yet it's awesome to behold. And you have so many what do I want to say? You have so many like equivalent foes duking it out with each other. You got Hal Jordan and Sinestro. You have Kyle Rayner, you have Superboy Prime battling against the next Green Lantern. They give the ion power, so these two superpowered dudes battling it out with each other. You have the Green Lantern and Yellow Lantern planet duking it out with each other. You have Arkillo, the Green Lantern equivalent of Kilowog, duking it out with each other. I mean, it's just page after page of outstanding action. And of course, it all culminates in a big battle on Earth, because what doesn't, right? We find out,
always the center.
Unbelievably, nobody saw this coming. The Earth is the center of the multiverse, and the Sinestro Corps War is trying to just not just destroy Earth or not just destroy the universe. They want to take over and destroy all of the multiverse. So the stakes just get ratcheted right the frick up. So it is outstanding. I cannot recommend this particular story enough. Again, you don't have to have read Green Lantern stuff before. You don't even have to read this and go, hey, I'm going to read some stuff after. But for me, that was such a fun piece of this, is after I got finished with this story, I wanted to know where the frick Superboy Prime came from. So I started doing some digging, and I'm like, Infinite Crisis? Sold. Read that, and that was a blast. Excuse me, to read his origin story. That's what got me into reading more about Hal Jordan's rebirth. So there, and of course, after this, we have Blackest Night. Holy buckets.
I have that one.
Yeah,
that's
good. Outstanding. So we'll get into that in a future episode. But seriously, if somebody asked me, okay, I haven't read comics before, what's a comic that I should read? There's about 5 that I would recommend, not just because they're great, but because they're accessible, because you can read them and enjoy the heck out of them without having to know a lot about what has come before. This is one of those beauties. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it. Absolutely love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So there you go. Sinestro Corps War.
I will say it threw me off looking at the artwork, because I was looking at Superboy Prime and I was looking at Cyborg Superman.
Yeah.
And their color scheme is red and blue.
Right.
So I saw Cyborg Superman,
yellow in there.
and I was like, oh, is he a part of the Red Lantern Corps? I mean, it makes sense. Right. And I think he might have been for a time on
Could
there.
have been. Yep.
Maybe. Who knows? It's comics. So I was like, oh, Red Lantern Corps. And then I was like, and I saw Superboy Prime, and he's all blue, and then he's got I was like, there is no way in hell he is on the Hope spectrum. No. There's no way. And then I actually looked at the circle, and I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
So they didn't really focus on the yellow with them very much.
No, and that's a really good reference, like the color spectrum that emerges a little bit here, that gets fleshed out so much more in the subsequent Blackest Night storyline. What an awesome concept, right? You think of how simple it was for so many years of, hey, Green Lantern's color green, and then Jeff Johns has this outstanding concept of, well, why can't there be other colors that emphasize other aspects of the emotional spectrum, willpower, fear, rage, love, hope, etc. And so it's fun to see it kind of at its origin point in this story. And then it's also really enjoyable in Blackest Night to see how it plays out amongst the creation of all these different cores. And it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like a, hey, how can we sell more comics ploy? It just feels like a genuine, organic branching of this Green Lantern story into other aspects of the color spectrum. It's fantastic. Really fantastic. So there you go, folks. Little comics roots for you. Get into it.
Man, that felt good.
Yeah.
That felt good to get
Right?
back into.
Right? And listen, Infinite Crisis is really good as well. I think that's a bit of a tougher read if you don't know what's come before.
I'm not going
what
to say
comes
I
after.
wouldn't start off with that
Absolutely
one by
not.
any means.
Absolutely not. No, you'll be lost immediately and frustrated. So
And be like, what is going on?
yeah,
I've heard it's good.
It's good. It just takes it's a little bit of a tougher. It's just a tougher read. Yeah. So there you go, my man. There's some good old fashioned comics action.
Beautiful.
Isn't that great?
So should we get into the Batman then?
There is no doubt. Let's just transition right into it. So a new
Perfect.
trailer
Yes.
came out.
I'm assuming the last one.
You gotta think. I'm a little surprised that they released it. It doesn't seem like there was that much time between the previous trailer and this one.
Yeah.
And we do have 2 months until we actually get to the film itself in March. So I'm a little surprised by the timing. But hey, more Batman is never a bad thing.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
Okay, you forced it on me. Deal. What do you think of the trailer?
Well, at the timing of this podcast, it has
Yes.
been officially PG-13,
Yes.
which
Do you think that was ever really in question?
and it was never going to be PG.
True. True.
But
More from a, do you think there was ever a chance it could be an R-rated Batman?
I think for Batman, you have to put that into consideration. Not because he is violent, but
Yep.
not necessarily because of him, but because of his villains
Sure.
and what they are capable of doing.
Sure.
Like, I feel like it's an insult to the character to not even consider a rated R rating.
Okay.
If you're going for a serious, like, Batman,
Yeah.
like,
It wouldn't be hard. That's not even how I want to put that. It would not be off-brand to have an R-rated Batman movie, just for the reason that you said, because of his rogues gallery. He has a nasty, nasty set of villains that could take it into R territory pretty quick.
for sure, because you have, the Joker's self-explanatory.
Yep.
And he already has
Yep.
an R-rated movie.
Joker, have
On
you
top
heard of him?
that,
Have you heard of him?
You have Professor Pig,
Oh
who
my gosh.
who turns people
Man.
into living marionettes and takes their faces off. I know Hugo Strange has done some messed up crap.
Scarecrow is legit.
Fear toxin.
Scary.
Yes.
Yep.
And honestly, I would want a threatening-looking Scarecrow because that's what makes it so good. And then,
Bane just snaps people in half.
yeah, that one's not as scary, but well,
It's a little crunchy.
a little crunchy, yeah, like a chip. But and then you have I almost tried Penguin's. Nah, you don't have to worry about it. He's like a mobster, but
He was pretty freaking nasty in the one Batman movie that he's shown up in so far.
That's
Did you ever
true.
watch
I have
Batman Returns?
I don't think so. Well,
He's gross.
yeah, that's the thing.
He is gross.
Well, in that one comic, in Batman Eternal, when we covered that, the first
Yes.
volume of that,
yes.
he has that one scene where he's attacking people and his
Right.
mouth is bloody. Like,
Yes.
he bit the shit out of some people.
Yes.
So he, when done right, fair enough, right there, creepy.
Yeah.
And then, oh my goodness.
Pretty
there's-
violent, creepy
there's
dude.
So many. The Riddler with his traps can be very violent. Court of Owls with Talon.
Yeah.
That could, all of this. But, yeah, I don't know.
That's
I don't,
fair. So there was always that small chance that,
Yes,
hey, this could
absolutely.
delve into R-rated territory. And the previous trailers have certainly been
More dark and brooding.
right. There has not been much in the way of levity or balance.
No.
So I know we're really leaning into the dark here.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is what you need for Batman.
Yep.
Yep. Going off for this trailer, this last trailer really seems like it focuses on the Wayne family as a whole.
Sure.
Because it starts off with like, hey, Bruce,
that angle.
you're not doing anything, man. What are you doing? And then
Right.
it's like, I'm the Batman. I'm Batman. And then they're talking about how...
Always a good answer.
It's implying that...
Always a good answer.
It's
I'm Batman.
true.
Okay.
And
Got
then
it.
you have... I mean, you pretty much have their family being in question. You see...
Yep.
You see
There's
Bruce,
some clear questions about their family
Correct.
history as Bruce is digging into the past that he maybe isn't super aware of, and perhaps not being thrilled with what he's finding.
And Alfred knows something
Right.
from the trailers.
Right.
So you have that, and then it's sounding... So it sounds to me like it's this big Wayne family conspiracy almost.
Right, and that's been played with a little bit in the comics, but never really committed to. Like, there's been times where in the comics, the Wayne family past, as Bruce has kind of uncovered more about either his parents or his grandparents or even further back, that there's been allusions to associations with crime and some potential misdeeds, but there's never been a real commitment to, hey, you know, Batman's grandpa was a pretty messed up guy, for example. So pretty fascinating if this movie is going to actually commit to, you know what, the Wayne family actually not all that they appeared to be, if that movie, you know, chooses to go down that path.
And for me, see, this is the thing that I will struggle with, because if they do make his parents directly like the problem,
Right.
I feel like that takes away from his character as a whole. Because like he
Sure.
fights for a sense of justice, but if his parents didn't even fight for that, why is he fighting for it?
You saying that makes it extremely likely now in my mind that that's the way it's going to go, because that's such uncharted territory. That would be very fresh storytelling ground for this version of the Batman and this creative team to say, hey, you know what? Here's an angle we could approach that nobody's done yet. Because up to this point in the movies, Bruce's parents have always been very, you know, black and white on the good side of things. Very altruistic, very caring, very easy for young Bruce to look at as models and examples of what he should be or should live up to. So there's some potential storytelling opportunities there if you take that away from Bruce. What happens?
Yeah.
That's not a question that's been addressed in a movie before. So based on this trailer and what you just said, makes me think, okay, that could legitimately be a way that we're going here.
And for me, it just makes me feel like the Court of the Owls
Yep.
is going to be even a bigger player in this than if they are a player. I feel like
Do you think they're going to be in this?
I feel like they could be.
Yep.
And I almost feel like if that's the direction they take, they
Yep.
should be.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
builds up like, okay, the Waynes were involved with this massive organization
Right.
that's all across, you know, Gotham, in the sense of like, oh, it wasn't just them. Like they're a
Right.
part of something. And for me, like, if you notice the way the Riddler handles things in the trailer, it seems like he figured out who Bruce is.
That's what they want us to think in the trailer. I'm not
sold on it either.
I'm not sold on it. I'm sold that he is uncovering things about the Wayne family past, and so he's targeting Bruce Wayne. I'm not convinced based on what we've seen in the trailers. I think it's been very cleverly edited and cut
Yes.
together. I'm not convinced that the Riddler has genuinely
Figured it out.
made the connection between Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Because that's always his flaw. That's his one flaw.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I do think that, I mean, the reasoning behind all he's doing, there's got to be something there. And it sounds like he's going after the Waynes
Yep.
as a whole.
Right.
So for me, I feel like with all this uncovering of things, I think it's got to be something
Boy,
underlying there.
there's a lot of opportunity for the Court of Owls to show up in
It would
this
be
movie.
magical.
And frankly, with as phenomenal of an adversary as that proved to be as soon as Scott Snyder introduced them, 12 years ago or so, how has that not been put on the screen yet? Maybe we don't want to go down that rabbit hole because of the Justice League movie that we don't talk about.
Oh, we'll get there later. It gets worse. It gets worse. From the rumors I've heard, it gets worse. But continue.
But it's such a phenomenal adversary just overall. And then you add on the fact that the general public, right, outside of comic book fans like us that have read the comics and really taken to those to that new set of adversaries, the general public doesn't know about them. So you've got an opportunity to introduce a whole new brand of bad guy in the Batman pantheon that you have all kinds of opportunities to tell ongoing stories with, because they're just such a large and deeply embedded organization. That's not a one movie adversary.
Correct.
Like, that's an adversary that is always there. You're just trying to keep them at bay. You're never really totally defeating them. They're gonna be there, even if they're in a
pulling
relatively,
the strings.
you bet, even if they're in a more subtle, less on the surface sense, they're never going away.
And that's why we never fully got them, because of what you just said. They are a trilogy kind of thing, and we haven't had a Batman trilogy in a while. And the thing with Batman I love Batman, one of my favorite characters. Spider-Man has the same problem, and you could probably argue the fact that Superman has the same problem. But mainly Spider-Man and Batman, they have such a large rogues gallery that everybody wants to see somebody fight different. Like, we've been wanting Clayface in a Batman movie being the focus. We've wanted the Court of Owls.
Right.
We've wanted Hugo Strange, probably.
Yep.
I mean...
Nobody wants Professor Pig. If you're someone that says you want Professor Pig...
You're psychotic.
Get out.
But he's more...
Go seek help.
He's more of like a minor addition, not like a...
Yeah, right.
You know, not a huge guy. But instead we've had... You know, we've had multiple Jokers, which is fine. You have to have a Joker to have Batman, in my opinion. But we've had Joker every time. We've had the Riddler in 2 different ones. We've had Bane in 2 different ones. Although the first Bane was not great from what I hear. Poison Ivy's another one that they've done.
That movie as a whole was a dumpster fire.
Yes.
So... Bane included. Yes, that was rough. That was super rough.
Yeah.
You're not missing anything.
I didn't figure.
No.
But Poison Ivy, I know, has been done once, but we haven't really had like
the Bane movie, just bad.
We haven't had a solid one, so
Right.
you could make the argument for her. That's one I forgot about completely. Mr. Freeze, we haven't gotten a good Mr. Freeze. You know what I mean? If they go for like the origin from the 90s Batman animated series, that would be phenomenal. But it's the same with Spider-Man, where you have Kraven, you have Scorpion, you have Hammerhead, you have all these other guys that you want to see hit the screen. Because when you see Vulture and Mysterio, you're like, yes, because this is the first time.
Yes.
And with Batman, I think that's the thing they struggle with too, is the same, like, you know, they want those big characters like Riddler and Joker. And Joker will probably show up in this trilogy, which, again, is fine, because the way that they are closely connected, it matters. But,
yeah, that's a really good perspective. It's and I really appreciate how you drew the comparison to Spider-Man, especially coming on the fresh off of Spider-Man No Way Home, and how phenomenal Green Goblin was in that movie. And it's tough. It's just a real challenge, or at least it seems to be a challenge for movie franchises that have A-list superheroes, of which Spider-Man and Batman both firmly fall into that camp.
Oh, for sure.
And you have, along with them, their parallels. It's not the phrase I want to use. Their primary adversaries are so well known. Spider-Man, Green Goblin. Batman, Joker. It's hard, I think, for movies to mine the next level of villains, even though those villains are outstanding and worthwhile. It seems like movies just have this hard time. Well, we got to come back to the Green Goblin. We got to come back to the Joker. And that doesn't have to be bad, but you're missing out on opportunities to explore some really phenomenal villains that are worth settling into without having to worry about, oh, that's right, remember the Joker's over here.
Yeah.
Joker's still here, guys. It's like, we don't need it.
And
we don't need it right now.
And those are villains too that I feel like they don't need to be the focus to be important.
Right.
Like, if you just have
Right.
the Green Goblin flying around while Spider-Man's trying to deal with the Scorpion as the main thing, and he's just doing little side stuff because that's Norman Osborn, that's almost better.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you have Joker going around doing his own thing, like he kind of did in the first Suicide Squad movie, but we don't really talk about that because it wasn't well done. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that sense of, like, okay, he's got his own mission here, and he's still involved, but he's not directly involved.
Yeah, you just don't want those... The A-list character with their primary villain, you don't want that to be a reason that you don't get to see these other villains.
Exactly.
There are too many other great villains to have your hero combat against. Like, let's not just get stuck on, well, the best is the Joker. We know. We
understand.
But you can tell, like, we'll be patient. You can tell a great story with other great villains because we know eventually, hey, Joker's showing up. Just like with Spider-Man, eventually Green Goblin's showing up. That's fine, but it doesn't just need to be those. You got to get that variety in there because it makes those battles with that primary villain, the best villain, that much more enriching because you've built up to him. It's not just, hey, it's him again. Then it just gets repetitive and stale.
Yeah, because with just, for example, Green Goblin in the Raimi trilogy, we did not need Harry Osborn becoming the next Green Goblin in that. They should have just focused on Venom and Sandman.
Yes.
Or just Venom, for Pete's sake.
Correct.
But, and this is why I bring this up, because the rumors were, for the new Batman trilogy, that Batman 2 will be Joker, Batman 3 will be Bane. And I'm like...
Didn't we see this
we
already?
Just did this with Christian Bale. Like, the
only difference is Riddler and Ra's al Ghul. Otherwise...
Well, Riddler, Ra's al Ghul, and Scarecrow.
Right.
And I'm like, why? I mean, again, Bane is great. Bane's probably top 5 Batman villain. Joker's number 1.
Yep.
But it's just like... And I think that's what they need to do more of, is where it's like these trilogy villains, in a sense, where you have, like... You have the Court of Owls building up, and then boom, Talon comes in. They make their final move at the end of that,
right.
At the end of the trilogy. Boom. Why don't they do that with Green Goblin and Joker, where you have, because Norman Osborn for Spider-Man is such a big player in that entire for the Marvel universe. He's one of the biggest players, but to have that influence throughout and just seeing that dynamic change, like you don't have to one off them.
Correct.
I think that's part of the problem, too.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Court of the Owls.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, we'll see. Overall, with this Batman movie, I think my opinion or perspective or expectations on it changes on about a daily basis. Like, I love Batman, and I don't know if I'm going to love this movie. I really want to. Parts of it, when they show it in the trailers, like the action looks terrific.
The fight choreography is insanely good from what it looks like. It looks
great. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy where in the Batman timeline they're presenting this character, kind of his second year as the Batman. The overall style that they've chosen for him, for Catwoman, I'm not sure if they have committed to a... It feels like at first they wanted to show us like this really stripped down version of Batman, like rather than having all these technological advancements that we saw like in the Christian Bale trilogy, that this is almost more of a homemade Batman, if you will. Not quite as bad as the hockey pads guys from Dark Knight trying to dress as Batman and do their thing, but not nearly as far developed or as technologically equipped, again, as Christian Bale's Batman. And I think that's what they want to do, but I'm not certain. And that could just be a product of the marketing more so than the actual product that we're going to get. So I just don't feel like I've received, as a fan, a really clear vision from a marketing perspective. Here's what we've got. Here's what we're giving to you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because when franchises are getting rebooted or restarted, I think there's more opportunity for a disconnect between the creative team that's actually making the movie and the marketing team. It's a little different when you're doing the sequel. You go, hey, we remember what that first one was, so we're going to play along the same lines. These are lines and a tone that has not yet been completely revealed. So I am cautiously hopeful. I don't know if I'd say optimistic, but I'm hopeful.
And I understand where you're coming from, because that was kind of the same way I was going into Venom, the first one.
Sure.
Because they were playing with the rating so much that they didn't know what they were going to commit to until the end. And then that's when you had the poor dialogue that came in sometimes.
Sure.
When you're floating down the wind like a turd.
That's right.
I hate that line to this day.
Gosh.
Anyways,
Well, it's not good. It's
No.
not a good one. No matter how you package it, that's not a good line.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
I really do. I trust Robert Pattinson. He's a good actor.
He is.
This dude goes hard. And his Batman voice does not sound like...
It sounds good.
It sounds
it's a
great.
Good,
It doesn't sound...
solid Batman voice.
Like, I don't know how to... I mean, I think with Batfleck...
Yeah, you can't even impersonate it without it sounding just like you're making fun of it.
Because Batman...
Batfleck
had the voice...
Kind of the voice modulator.
Thing. Yep.
Right.
It was like, blah, 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 and you're like, yeah,
Right.
that's gross. And then Christian Bale, I think... we know what that one sounded like.
That never bugged me.
It never bugged me either.
Never bugged me. I know people...
Where is she?
Right. I know people liked to kind of poke fun at that, but I don't know if it ever... While people poked fun at it, I don't know that it ever actually bothered somebody. Like, they're watching the movie going,
that's awful.
what's going on here?
No, because for him, it actually makes sort of sense. He's changing his voice.
Right, you have to
bit.
legitimately change your voice.
And it went for lower, which is scarier. It's not like,
hoo-hoo! Yeah.
I'm going to get you, Scarecrow. Ah!
Can't really go the Mickey Mouse direction.
No, absolutely not. Thank God.
There's only one way to go from the octave up, or you're gonna
for
go
sure.
Down. Gotta go down.
And then I don't remember Michael Keaton's. I'm assuming his was the same.
Yeah, I don't have a clear recollection. Frankly, I'm not sure it was really that different.
I don't think so.
Than his Bruce Wayne
voice. That would
voice.
be my guess.
Yeah, a little bit darker, but I don't think it was like the Christian Bale Bruce Wayne to Batman was a pretty significant departure.
Yeah.
And I don't recall the Michael Keaton Batman voice being as significant. Different a little, but more of a little flavor twist, and then this is a very different beverage altogether.
But I like that. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
But I'm excited, and mainly because it's Robert Pattinson.
Sure.
I
like
trust him enough.
I like the cast. I like for crying out loud, why am I blanking on the name of the actor that's playing Commissioner Gordon?
Oh, I don't know his name either, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay, bear with me. I need to look my guy up
But-
because I can't not give him appropriate credit.
Apparently, the guy playing Riddler is really, really good actor too. Paul Dano. Never seen him in anything, but
Have you not?
But I've heard he's
okay.
pretty good from what I've been told.
He is well cast as a creep.
He looked creepy.
I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how he has any role in a movie other than as a creep. It's really
It's that bad?
unfortunate.
We haven't even seen his face either. He just has a trash bag over his head all the time.
Let's just put it this way. That's his sweet spot as a creep.
Well, that's good to know. Because from the pictures I've seen, it looks like he's never held hands with a girl before. Like, he seems like he'd sweat up an ocean if one complimented him.
Correct. Jeffrey Wright. There's my guy for old James Gordon. Jeffrey Wright was fantastic in the last James Bond movie, by the way. Really enjoyed him.
I don't know if I've seen him in anything. Is he in all of the James Bond movies?
The most recent ones.
Just the
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Paul Dano's a fantastic actor. Not one that I've enjoyed watching because he's just
Creepy.
He's just creepy or unsettling. So hard to get behind. Is like, I'm a Paul Dano fan. It's like, we have questions about you now. We have questions.
I do.
Andy Serkis is Alfred.
That's sick.
Let's go.
That's will
tremendous.
That would be the first like badass Alfred, because that's the Alfred I can be like, okay, that dude, if the cave gets invaded, will be the first one to pull a shotgun out.
Alfred's fine.
I am not worried about that guy.
Cave got broken into. Not a problem. Alfred's there.
And
Batman does not need to rush back to the cave.
I think one of the like low key like best players in this movie will probably be Colin Farrell's Penguin. That looks phenomenal too.
It doesn't even look like him.
No, I know, that's why it looks so good.
It's incredible. It's like, that's Colin Farrell. you wouldn't know who that actor is. So
No.
outstanding costume and makeup work.
Hopefully
but
they give him the
seeing.
hands.
There you go. Looking
want the
forward to seeing
hands.
Colin Farrell do his thing, because that has certainly been a clear-cut highlight of the trailers thus far. Is what they have shown of him as the Penguin. It's been electric.
Yes.
It's been great.
And a little gravy, like icing on the cake, would just be like him having like a like a bird scream, like a like every time he gets scared,
Yeah.
Batman comes
Yeah.
up behind him, turns around, that was, maybe that's just me.
You may not get that. You may not get that wish, but hey,
Dude, if that
You
happens,
put it
I'm
out
just gonna
there.
look at you and be like,
there
I
it is.
told you.
There it is. That's what I wanted this
Yeah.
whole time. That's great. That's great.
But-
Well, yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, gonna go see it. It's a Batman movie. And I'll say this. So Matt Reeves, the director, did great work with the Planet of the Apes trilogy. Did you watch those movies at all, Riles?
I saw the first one.
Okay. First one was good. Second one was awesome.
Really?
Second one was incredible. Third one did not reach the same heights as the second one. Still a good movie, still a good conclusion to the trilogy as a whole. But the second one was just sweet. Just sweet. Andy Serkis, by the way, played the main
Yeah, I
ape.
knew that.
Yes. Incredible.
Caesar.
Incredible.
Isn't it?
Caesar, thank you. Yep, good pull on your part.
I can't believe I did pull that.
That's really well done. Really well done.
Selfie high five there.
So I've got confidence in Matt Reeves. I love your confidence in Robert Pattinson. I'm hopeful. I would really love for this movie to be really freaking good. I'm nervous. There are parts of it, like I said, like we already laid out, that make me go, I don't know. But we'll see. Just a couple months away.
Yeah, and well, the final two characters too that we didn't discuss. Catwoman. Catwoman looks fine. She's hit and miss for me. Like I
Sure.
don't care.
Sure.
I don't care about that character.
Yep.
And then they haven't really talked about it, but Carmine Falcone's in this too.
Mm-hmm.
Played by the one guy in Transformers that always freaks out. Mind you.
Yeah, John. I can't even think.
Which
of how to
I
pronounce
loved
his
him
last
in those
name.
movies.
Yeah.
But it's just now to see him as the Roman, I find that interesting. But
John Turturro. Yeah.
and we haven't seen much of him, so I don't know how much he's going to play in. That's the one thing I'm curious, because there's obviously a gang war going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's obviously the Riddler going on. So
Right.
to see how that all plays in together will be really, really interesting to me. So, and that's why, I don't know, I said that about the Spider-Man movie, that there's got to be somebody else pulling the strings. But
He's outstanding.
it might just be the Riddler.
He's great.
So,
Love it.
but, and then finally, I think it's this time.
I think it's time to get into the future talk, boys and girls.
Goodness, guys, I am excited. I will pull up the links that
Let's hit the DC. Let's stay on this
I
DC
agree.
train.
Okay.
Let's talk some DC future before we transition into the Marvel side to tie things off. 3, maybe 4 movies in 2022. What
Yeah.
are we doing?
So
Incredible.
So we have the Batman, which we already touched on.
Correct.
March 4th, 2022. That comes out 2 months. I'm very excited.
March 4th. Okay, early March.
Next one. Oh, yeah. I mentioned this to you, but you weren't too excited about it. DC League of Super Pets.
It looks fun. I'll say that. I probably will both watch and enjoy that movie.
That's the one you bring me kids to.
100%. Like, I love... Have you seen Lego Batman?
I have not.
Oh my goodness. That is the Batman movie that if you haven't seen, you need it. It's incredible.
Sounds like movie night at the Prescott's is going to be happening
There
soon.
is no freaking
I'll come over and
doubt.
watch that.
I legitimately will watch that movie for my birthday when it's like, hey, let's do something special. Like, we're watching freaking Lego Batman, guys. Lego Batman is on the screen. It's great.
Oh, good to know.
it's so good. So good.
So then the
And
next...
that's May 20th? Am I reading that right? Okay.
Correct. And then with The Rock and Kevin Hart. And I think,
Sold.
I think John Krasinski is voicing Superman in that, by the way.
Stop. That's
think.
great.
I think. Yeah, pretty sure. Look, you might have to double check me on that.
Allow me to,
I don't have the IMDb.
Allow me to look it up on the IMDb's while you continue to do the
I
Lord's
actually
work
think
here.
that cast is kind of wild.
That's incredible.
So, Black Adam is the next live-action DC movie coming out in July 29th.
Wow.
With The Rock.
Right.
So he gets 2 DC movies
Good,
this year.
good year for The Rock.
He gets to be Crypto, the Super Dog, and Black Adam.
You are 100% correct. John Krasinski is voicing Superman.
I'm good.
Well done.
Who's voicing Batman? Has that been confirmed?
Still seeking. Keanu Reeves is listed as a voice.
I think he's one of the animals.
Yep. Boy, did I just blaze right by it? Huh.
Maybe it hasn't been revealed yet.
Hasn't been officially revealed. Wouldn't be surprised if that's Keanu, though.
Because I thought... That would be interesting. Because I thought Keanu was supposed to be one of the animals.
Yeah, a little surprised. Okay.
Maybe not.
Okay. Love it.
Okay, so Black Adam... has there been a... I have no idea. But...
Love it.
What are your feelings on that movie?
I'm very much looking forward to it. I don't know how much substance there will be to it in terms of, is this really a worthwhile story? We'll see. I love that Dwayne Johnson has been on this character for years and wanting to make a movie with this character.
That is always a good sign, by the way, people. Yes. Always a good sign.
Yes. And say what you will about our guy, Dwayne Johnson. And what I mean by that is, does he necessarily appear in movies that have exceptionally crafted stories? No. But the guy also doesn't put himself in garbage movies. They're good. They are what they're supposed to be. Entertainment. That's who the guy is. So I believe that movie will be entertaining. I'm very excited to see Hawkman in that movie. Dr. Fate. So there's a lot of kind of next tier or like B-level DC characters that we've never seen on the screen that I'm very excited to see for the first time. So I'm very much looking forward to that movie.
Bro, Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate is not something I knew that I wanted.
Yes.
He looks so good.
Yeah.
He looks so good. I saw the picture of him. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
That's a great point. The design of those characters has been
Hawkman looked good too, I think.
It's been so comic book accurate. It hasn't been, or it hasn't been adjusted or modernized. It's just your classic Hawkman outfit. It's your classic Black Adam. So I'm very excited for that movie. Again, I'm not holding on hopes to it being this great story. I do think it'll be really entertaining with some characters that we will look forward to seeing again in future DC movies.
Oh, for sure.
So absolutely excited about it. All right. Hit me. The Flash. There's your 4th. November 2022. What are the rumors? Let's ruin my day. What do you got?
You really want to do this?
No, I'm sorry.
Do you want to talk?
Hold on. Before we do, we're going to come back to it. Aquaman. The Aquaman single.
Oh.
Number 5. December 16th, 2022.
Yes, okay. December 16th.
I am pumped
that will be
for that
sweet.
movie. Loved the first Aquaman movie. Greatly enjoyed Jason Momoa in that role. Loved the design of the worlds. Atlantis being the primary one, of course, that James Wan crafted. Stoked for that movie.
Black Manta is a beast.
That's right. We've got
he's going to be the main focus
more
too.
Black Manta.
He's going to be the main focus.
Woo!
He's got to be the main focus.
Woo!
That's going to be sick.
Man.
And then
very excited for that.
Yes, that would be sweet. And we have The Flash coming November, what does it say on there? November
4th.
November 4th.
Early November. All right. So we've had our fun.
Okay.
We're excited. Now let's bring it back down, I guess.
So from the rumors. Okay, this is going to be it's their Flashpoint movie, people. So they've already, which by the way, isn't that just horseshit to the Flash? His first movie, it's not an origin movie. His job is to fix the mess that they made. That's his job. That's awful.
It's awful because it's not necessary. If they pretended that the Justice League movie didn't exist, we'd all be okay with it.
Oh my gosh.
We would all be okay with it. And quick qualifier, the Justice League Snyder Cut version, awesome. But you don't get to completely cheat and just pretend like that first original widespread release of the Justice League didn't exist. That's still what they put out there. It sucked. So here we are. Just pretend like it didn't exist. Pretend like it's not there.
Okay, so the first rumor I heard is that legitimately, kind of what I just said, They're going to erase all of the Snyderverse. And they're going to be starting from scratch pretty much. So it's going to get rid of Man of Steel. It's going to get rid of Batman versus Superman. It's going to get rid of Justice League. They're all gone. Boom. Bye-bye. It gets worse.
I cherish Man of Steel, and I understand that I am on an island. But I cherish my island of Man of Steel. Cherish it. Love Henry. Love Henry Cavill. I haven't seen that movie. You haven't seen it?
No. I need to watch it. I know. Man. So.
Okay.
This will be the last time, according to rumors, this is the last time we will see Ben Affleck's Batman. He has confirmed that. This is the last time he's been Batman. Okay?
He's going to be in it. Okay.
Apparently, from the rumors, which if this is true,
oh boy,
this is the worst thing you could ever do to a person. Apparently, this will be the last time we see Henry Cavill as Superman. Apparently, he's just going to be gone. Though, and by the way, it's not him actually showing up. From the rumors, it's just clips of him on TV as Superman. That's the rumor. And that is the last time we'll see Henry Cavill. Who's replacing them, you ask? Well, here we go. Okay?
I don't even have words for the despair in my heart.
From the rumors. Batman will be played in the DCEU by Michael Keaton. He will be the DCEU Batman. Now, that doesn't sound bad at first, but he's older
doesn't sound good.
But he's older than dirt. I love Michael Keaton, but bro, it's over as Batman. Okay, he would have been just cool to be like a Thomas Wayne, or if you wanted to go the Batman Beyond route, which would have been sick as hell.
Yes,
that would have been sick. And then have Mark Hamill play an old version of Joker. Missed opportunity. But besides the point, let's refocus.
Oh boy.
Okay?
Oh boy.
And apparently,
oh boy,
the person that they're going to have play Superwoman will be now the new Superman. Whatever her name is. I don't know what the actress's name is. But apparently she will be the next Superman. And that will form the new Justice League. Be her Superman, Michael Keaton's Batman. And yeah.
So just when you didn't think they could mess it up. I mean, okay. You surprised me with a couple movies you said that you haven't seen. Have you seen Dumb and Dumber?
I have, but it's been a while.
Okay. There's a phenomenal line in that movie where one of the characters says to the other, just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. Yeah. That's all I hear in my mind when I hear those rumors.
Tanner and Josh quote that quote all the time.
Yes, it's a phenomenal quote, timeless in nature. I just hope they're not true.
Yeah.
I just hope they're not true.
Well,
I adore Henry Cavill as Superman, so I don't want to lose him as Superman.
I also want to know what that guy did to you. What did he do?
Joke.
He's a saint of a man. He's in The Witcher right now, which he loves that character. And they said that dude is quoting lines from the book from pages because he's an encyclopedia because he loves that character. And I know he loves Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like I'm inspired by your Star Wars popcorn
Thank you.
buckets over there.
Appreciate it.
It's not as if he's Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker.
No, and which, by the way, is getting love again.
Good God.
That man, give or take, that's not all his fault.
Okay, fair enough. Not all his fault. But it's not as if... So I'm going to pick on Hayden Christensen a little bit. He gets that role of a lifetime. It does not transition from that into an outstanding career, right? He doesn't get other roles where you're going, the Star Wars movies were rough, but he's really good in the rest of this. With Henry Cavill, you're going, Batman vs. Superman, that was pretty dang flawed. But man, look at all this other stuff he's in. He is great in everything that he is in.
Absolutely.
It is not a Henry Cavill problem. It's a freaking Warner Bros. And DC problem. And they are pissing away an outstanding actor who does a phenomenal job at personifying the character and who made his name for himself by being that character.
Sure.
So now when you see him in another movie, you first think Superman.
Yeah, it's true.
You're not taking a current known name, plugging him in and going, well, it's, okay, you have to look past the celebrity. It's like, no, that is Superman. That is who he is. And they're absolutely wasting him. And that infuriates me.
And no offense to this other actor, but it's not like he's Brandon Routh.
No.
Like, he's been Superman multiple times.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
why?
Yep. Brandon didn't take the job and run with it. Henry's just better.
Henry wants to keep... He said he'd come back.
Yeah.
He said multiple times
Yeah.
he'd come back. It just irritates me.
There is just no need for this kind of an effort. It's a waste of Flash.
Yeah, it's a waste of a Flash
It's a
movie.
waste
We
of
don't get an
everything
origin
that has
movie
come
Flash.
before. Like, we are more than willing to forgive and forget and move on. Instead, you should be latching on to, you've got an outstanding Aquaman, you've got an outstanding Wonder Woman, you've got an outstanding guy that's playing Superman, and Justice League movie be damned, he's back. Like, you brought him back from the dead, so you've already erased the big mistake of killing him, so
Which
that you
was
couldn't
stupid,
have
too.
it. Right, so you've got him back. All you got to do is figure out a way to move on from Ben Affleck's Batman. And you know what you have to do for that? Recast the mother-loving role. That's all you have to do. You don't have to worry about, well, people... No one's going to care. No one is going to care if you recast the role. You leave Bruce Wayne in the stage of life that he's in. That's fine. Just recast the guy.
And here's the thing, too.
And even freaking Ezra Miller is Flash in the Justice League Snyder Cut. You've got Cyborg's outstanding in that. You've got what you need. You've got the characters. Just move forward. What are you doing? Trying to cobble together some kind of a solution to a problem that you created in the first place. Just move forward. That's your best move.
And the thing that blows my mind throughout the whole thing is you pick Michael Keaton out of the Batman. Okay, let's just...
Only if you're going Batman Beyond can you do that.
I agree.
Only.
And I'm not saying he's a bad Batman.
He's
but
great
he's
Batman,
too old
but
for
he's
to be a
too
current
old.
Batman. So you have two options, okay? You have two other options. If you want to go and you want to pick a new Batman, not even a new Batman, you want to go for that route, here's two ideas. There's a guy named Christian Bale you can give a ring. Now, would his Batman really work? I don't know. But he still played Batman phenomenally. He's probably the best Batman to date right now.
There's no doubt. There's
by
no doubt.
far.
Yep.
Well, there's that guy. Oh, he'd be pretty cool to see next to Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact he'd probably come back.
I could see him coming back. Why not with Robert Pattinson?
That was that's option two.
You're not compromising his trilogy by having him take on this Batman role. You're just saying, hey, this is you 10 years later, and then your trilogy are prequel movies, essentially. Right? Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. Because
unbelievable.
Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill's Henry Cavill's Superman, and then if you had, do you know how epic it would be? Do you know how epic it would be for either one? If it was Robert Pattinson's Batman or frickin' Christian motherfucking Bale up there, that'd be insane.
And Riley, those are great options. They could also just do a brand new dude.
They could. They definitely could. If Robert
would
Pattinson's
be
like,
fine.
I don't want to sign on for this long term of a thing, which you can't blame the guy, because that's not what he signed up for. He signed up for a trilogy. But it's like, there's got to be another guy that would be like, I'll be Batman.
Yep.
I'll be Batman. You call me up. Would I be good? Absolutely not. But I will do it. I will do it because guess what? I can move better than Michael Keaton. I can run a circle around Michael Keaton before he even turns his bat head.
Boy, I really hope.
It's not true. I also hope it's not true.
I really hope that it's not true.
But I have a bad feeling.
Yep.
Because right now it also feels like they're kind of doing like a mini No Way Home where they're like, oh, hey, you remember this Batman? You liked him. Hey, you remember this Batman? You liked him. Oh, who's coming in to jump in now? And it's it's George Clooney.
Oh my gosh. Devastating. Devastating.
Hilarious.
Well, I'm going to choose to be hopeful, to be positive with what we know is coming that is going to be really enjoyable. I'm looking forward to, again, the Batman on March 4th, DC League of Super Pets on May 20th, Black Adam on July 29th. Really every other month, folks. We got something to look forward to. And then there's a gap between then and The Flash. But then there's Aquaman coming in December. So
that one will save the day, I think. If The Flash goes bad. That's just my opinion, though.
Boy. Yep. So a lot more to look forward to than not. And hey, there's time between now and those rumors for things to either get fixed or for them to just freaking keep postponing the Flash movie. Postpone it to 2023. Do the Morbius. Just keep postponing it. I don't... Yuck. All right, let's talk some MCU with what's coming out in 2022. Now, a little bit trickier here because we don't have as many dates to really function with from a TV show perspective.
Yes, there is no announcement of dates at this moment in time for the Disney Plus shows, which kind of is baffling.
Agreed.
I figure because it makes you wonder where they're going to take place. So do you think we're going to get are we going to get backloaded on Disney Plus shows? Because I don't feel like that's possible.
No, I don't think we are.
Because I feel like
Hawkeye just wrapped up. So I think, frankly, I would think March is when we would get another Disney Plus show.
March or at the latest April. Because in May, you have
Doctor Strange. You bet.
So
I do think there will be a Disney Plus show between now and that movie.
There has to be, almost.
I really do. Yeah. Marvel's got too much content in production to leave that kind of a gap, like a 5-month gap. I think maybe I'm just getting selfish and impatient. But I agree. I feel like that is difficult with as many shows. So let's just run through the roster real quick. Moon Knight is set to release in 2022.
And it says in this article it'd be streaming soon, so it is expected in early 2022.
Right.
So it sounds like... So we'll just assume that this list is based off of projected Disney Plus times.
Sure. So Moon Knight
is projected first.
Yep. Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, let's see, and Secret Invasion. That's 4 shows.
Yes.
4 shows in 1 year. And since they're shows, you got the minimum of 6 episodes, maximum of 8 or 9. Okay, if you're going to release them 1 week at a time, that's a month and a half worth of a release schedule. You do have to kind of get moving.
It would have to be late March at the latest.
Yeah.
If they're doing 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Which would be my guess, because I think, hasn't that been like the money maker, 6 episodes?
Yep. Yeah, let's see.
Hawkeye
was 6 episodes. Falcon Winter Soldier was 6.
Loki was 6.
So
6
WandaVision was the exception. But those were also shorter episodes.
Was that 8?
8 or 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would bother me if it was 9. I hope it wasn't 9. That's just such a weird number. Either do 10 or do 8.
I have 9 in my head. I'm going to look. Okay, so Moon Knight.
We'll talk Moon Knight first.
You bet.
Oscar Isaac looks sweet. And if the Moon Knight leak was correct, that suit is awesome. Props to Marvel. I'm just going to give them their props right now. The amount of comic accurate suits we have been getting has been insane, and I love every moment of it.
Also, it definitely was 9 episodes.
I hate that so much. I hate it. Why? Either make it 8 or make it 10.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, that's gross.
That's great. No round numbers for you. Sorry, bud.
Ugh.
Sorry, bud.
See, and it makes me wonder if it got shortened because of COVID.
Could have.
But anyways.
Anyway, Moon Knight costume, agreed. Looks phenomenal. And I love that Marvel's leaning into that.
Yes.
You circle all the way back to the first Avengers movies, and I think I've taken for granted how comics accurate Marvel characters have been.
Oh, for sure.
Iron Man's always been solid. Captain America, Thor, they've done a great job at that. So the A-list characters, they've really done a good job at keeping them in their comic accurate costume. It's been the Scarlet Witches, the Hawkeyes that haven't had comic
honestly
accurate.
Spider-Man.
Sure.
Which is
wow, right.
Because
bizarre.
Yeah, because with him it was always Stark-esque.
Right. Or
which is fine.
sweatpants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I agree. Costume looks great. We'll see what legitimately comes out of it. But having Oscar Isaac in the title role, dude's good.
And that's the thing too. We have no idea the direction of this show.
No.
The only other thing I know about it is Ethan Hawke's going to be in it, which I think is going to be cool. I don't know who he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to be the villain or a side character or a ghostwriter. Who knows? Who knows what this guy's going to do? The only thing that I hope that this show does, the only thing I hope it does, I want it to be like Daredevil Netflix.
Okay.
And I don't know if we will get that. If it's Disney Plus.
Sure.
Only thing that scares me.
Okay.
But that is what I want. I want brutal.
You bet.
Because that's what he does.
All right, let's keep cranking through these. Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness movie here.
We could theorize about this movie for years and years. I heard somebody say...
And we will in a future podcast episode.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
We're going to get more trailers to digest, so we'll save that kind of a deep dive, pre-dive, if you will.
I did hear Ben Affleck did get contacted about making a cameo as Daredevil in it. That's what I heard. There's been so many of those that I've heard. Deadpool's been rumored. Wolverine's been rumored. Who knows? They could do anything. Tobey Maguire's rumored.
Unreal. That movie's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be wild.
Guys, watch all the old school Marvel movies. This is the time to do it.
True. All right, Ms. Marvel, another TV show sometime in 2022.
I could care less about that one, to be honest.
Afraid so. Yeah.
I've also heard they're changing her power set up a little bit. So instead of like her getting larger arms and larger legs, it's like it kind of seemed like it was Green Lantern-esque, where it just showed the fist bigger with her fist. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
But I'm not okay with that. Honestly, I thought that was dumb. Why can't you?
I could take this show or leave it. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I have no reason to watch it. I'm not actively trying to avoid it because I dislike the character. I just don't know squat about the character, and none of what little I think I know is intriguing to me.
The only thing that interests me is if I hope Monica Rambeau's in it.
Sure.
In some essence, because that would be really cool.
Yep.
I liked her character in WandaVision, and because she's coming back for the second Captain Marvel movie, and Miss Marvel will be in the second Captain Marvel movie. So that's what I find interesting, how that will tie together.
Yeah. Frankly, I'll probably just wait for her character to show up in a movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. Cannot wait.
That'd be sick. That movie is going to be sweet. I've seen some concept of his new suit. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. No. Let me tell you, I'm just excited.
I'm going to Google it right now.
How great is July going to be, by the way?
Oh, it's going to be perfect.
Thor: Love and Thunder, little Black Adam in action. Love it. I'm very excited for this movie. Christian Bale, who we've name dropped a handful of times already on this episode, is Gore the God Butcher, and that is going to be outstanding. Just outstanding. Guardians of the Galaxy teaming up with Thor. Love the dynamic that we've seen between Thor and Star-Lord. So, very excited for this movie. Oh, by the way, Russell Crowe is in the movie as Zeus.
It is confirmed he's Zeus?
Yes.
That's such a weird...
I love it.
I'm not against it.
I absolutely love it.
Has he been Zeus before?
No.
I feel like he's been a Greek god before.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe not.
I don't think so.
He seems like a guy that would have played Zeus in the past.
No. So very excited for that movie. All right, She-Hulk also coming out in 2022.
Oh, and before...
Oh, yeah?
We do have to mention...
more thoughts? Let's hear it.
We do have to mention Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Gore the God. Oh, you did say that?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I got distracted.
That's right. You're locked in over here.
I want to make sure we highlight
we can't miss that. No.
Because that's going to be sweet.
It's worth repeating.
Sorry.
Worth repeating.
I'm not focused.
All good. She-Hulk 2022. I'm intrigued. I'll watch this one. I'm not enthusiastic. I'm not anticipating, but I will watch.
I will too.
Yep.
Because it looked like the Hulk's going to be... Actually, a lot of the characters rumored for this show is what makes it interesting.
Okay.
Because...
Tell me more.
Obviously, we have Bruce Banner in it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he fixes his dinky arm. And then...
True.
Does
a little Hulk healing.
I have a feeling... Was Red Hulk rumored? I want to say Red Hulk was rumored for this.
So.
Abomination is confirmed almost.
That's great.
There's another female villain that I don't care about. And then freaking Daredevil has been rumored to be in this one too. Mm-hmm. So he's just going to show up in every... Cause that's sick.
Love it.
But
love it.
That's the other one that I heard. And if
Yep.
Daredevil's in it, I'm in it. That's how that's going to be.
Absolutely love it.
They just fight in a courtroom. That's the whole 6 episodes. It's just like Law and Order.
That just, oh my gosh, just making me
Except she's
remember
green
the
and he's-
Daredevil appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm so happy.
I'm a really good lawyer.
So happy. Just great.
That was rock star.
All right. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
I have no
November
idea what to expect
11th.
from this, so I have no idea if I should be excited or not.
Same. The Black Panther movie is one of my very favorite MCU movies. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
That's what makes this so
Devastating.
difficult.
Yep. Just don't know what to expect. I will say this. I know that the rumors have been that this movie is going to explore the world of Wakanda, and I think there's good hope for it because that was such an outstanding design
It's
in
true.
that original movie, or in the first movie rather, and there were clear, the different tribes had been well established, each had their own very distinct aesthetic. So they could do that. You could make a more of a community movie than a focusing on a T'Challa movie, and you could be successful. So I'm hopeful, but I also don't know at all what to expect.
If Namor is in it, which I think he has been confirmed for that movie, that will be sweet if it's well done.
Sure.
The only thing that makes me regret it is I really wish we could have seen Chadwick.
Yep.
Because
No doubt.
Black Panther versus Namor is so iconic in the comics.
Right.
And he would be so good. And I know I think Chadwick Boseman's brother said, like, Chadwick would have wanted the role to be recasted. But
They really do need to. They just should. I don't really get the hesitation.
I think at the time when it happened, you're like, oh, yeah, we definitely can't recast this guy.
Sure.
But looking back now, like, there's been time. There's
That's
so
a good
much.
point.
There's
Yep.
so much more to explore with T'Challa.
Right.
That it would almost be a shame to the character.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would be totally cool to recast. I'm totally cool if the next Black Panther is somebody that, that has made an impact. So either Shuri or I think it'd be cool to see Killmonger come back, but I don't think
Agreed.
That's a
Agreed.
reach, I feel like, at this point.
It is, but I'd be okay with that too. Yeah. Okay,
But-
so we'll see. A lot of time between now and November. Secret Invasion.
I have no idea what to expect from this either.
I'm really looking forward to this. I love that comic arc, and this has been teased for a long, long time, ever since the Skrulls showed up. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this show. I think this one is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
The thing with me that I don't get, I guess, is because they've been established as good. So if they're bad now, that's weird to me.
I could see it being both. I could see there being the good Skrulls, but then you've also got a sect of not
Bad
good
ones.
Skrulls. Yeah,
But
that's my hunch.
But my girl Khaleesi's in it.
There you go.
AKA the Queen of Dragons. AKA Daenerys Targaryen. AKA Emilia Clarke. So I'm excited to see her.
Yeah, gonna be a fun.
She's a good actress. So
Gonna be a fun show.
and obviously it's gonna be Nick Fury focused.
Yep.
And we haven't had anything Nick Fury focused since Winter Soldier. Well, Captain Marvel, but I don't count that one as much.
Yeah, a little bit of a.
I'd say the best one was Winter Soldier.
Agreed.
So it'll be fun.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yep. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. We don't even need to talk about it. I don't know
It's
why
gonna be-
holiday specials exist.
You figure
get it.
after the Star Wars one, they would never do one ever again.
Just
but
shouldn't happen anymore.
here we are.
So there you go. A lot of TV shows, couple of movies sprinkled in there. Black Panther in November, Doctor Strange in May. I think that's it. Did I just immediately? I'm sorry. That was a test and I did not pass. Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. That right there. That's the movie out of all these movies we've just discussed, DC and Marvel alike. I'm looking forward to that.
That
one
is the
most.
one I was just gonna ask.
It really
the one
is.
that you're most excited about.
It is.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yep. I'm not as excited for the Batman movie. That's probably number 2. I'm most excited for Thor.
I'd
Love
say
and
Batman's
Thunder.
number 3 for
Okay.
me. Thor: Love and Thunder is number 2.
Doctor
Number one.
Strange.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And
Love it.
Which because I've said it for a long time. This is going to be the game changer movie.
Yep.
This is going to be the game changer. We're establishing a multiverse for Marvel. They've already done it for DC.
Sure.
Marvel's doing it a lot better. And
Stunner.
yeah, but
Stunner.
like with all the people they're rumoring coming back, it's just, and I think for the most part they will leave those other ones alone.
Sure.
And they'll pick and pull what they want.
Yep.
Like I think, I've said it before. I think this is when we get the X-Men. I think this is when we get all the other characters that we haven't had access to come back to light. And I think in a weird way, this will be our send-off for the rest of like the Marvel movies.
Okay.
Like it'll be that little like, it was kind of what No Way Home was for Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, where it was like, okay, we get to see these.
Yep.
Instead of like, it's more of just a celebration.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about Kevin
really,
Feige describing
an homage.
all these characters. It's like, why are we fighting putting all these Spider-Men against each other? Let's
just honor them for what they are, celebrate for what they are.
And I think that's what this movie's going to be. It's going to be scary, it's going to be horror, but it's going to be also this celebration of everything that's come up to this moment.
Yeah.
And I think, I trust Sam Raimi. I think this will be perfect.
Yeah.
But Thor: Love and Thunder will be number 2 because that's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah. So, no doubt, there's going to be at least a few of the... Not all these movies will live up to their respective hype, I'm sure. But we're going to get a few absolute bangers in here, and that's going to be a blast. And that doesn't even call into account the TV shows. There's a lot of potential, because there's just so much unknown. So I'm looking forward to being pleasantly surprised by some of these TV shows, because I am not excited for any of them to a similar level that I was for previously released shows. Like I was really looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, etc. So I'm looking forward to being surprised by some of these TV shows.
We are definitely in a space where we don't know what's going to happen next with anything really. Like
it's
besides
awesome.
The Batman, and it's just like...
It's just awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely love it. So a lot of good things to look forward to. It's a great recap, Riles. I think we've taken up enough of good people's time.
I think so.
Incredibly.
So that was the 2022 movie and TV show slate for Marvel.
There's
movie
your primer.
slate for DC.
You bet. You're welcome.
The TV shows are all continuations for DC. You can look that up yourselves. So
love it. Love it.
On that note,
you bet.
Like always, subscribe. You're going to start seeing some highlights roll out from videos now, so make sure you check our YouTube page on that one.
Boom.
On any other note, Godspeed.
Peace.